except this time it is real. 100%. No joke. How about a $25,000 membership to Front Sight Firearms Training Facility as a thank you bonus for a one-time donation to RBN of only $500? It is a Commander lifetime membership with no yearly fees or dues. The training is free for the rest of your life with over 50 different classes. Then leave it to your designated beneficiary. You provide the approved firearm, holster, ammo, eye, and ear protection. Many features and bonuses are included, more than you would ever expect or believe. This is the ultimate graduation present, wedding gift, etc., etc. See the details. Go to RBN's webpage and frontsight.com to make it happen. You will hear this offer only on this radio network. Help keep RBN alive. Tell 5.
You're listening to Republic Broadcasting Network, because you can handle the truth.
What really happened with your host, Mike Rivero. You're listening to the Republic Broadcasting Network, where you'll find out what the Fukushima's going on.
And aloha, America. Welcome to our show today. And it is Monday, November 12th, 2018. Today is the official commemoration, of course, of Veterans Day, which was actually yesterday, the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. So it's a holiday for a lot of people, not for us here at RBN, obviously. But still kind of a kickback feel to the day a little tiny bit here. Anyway, we have got a lot of stuff to talk about today. The phone lines are open, 800-313-9443. Mike is in our control room, ready to answer the phone, put you on the air with your comments and questions. So let's just get right on into it. Obviously, the situation in Broward County, Palm Beach, other areas in Florida, we're in a repeat of 2000. It's 2000 all over again. 18 years this nation has had to overhaul and revamp the election system to get it working so that the people can actually have some confidence that the people being voted for are the ones who are actually getting into office, because right now that confidence is gone here. Anyway, apparently Broward County is doing recounts in for Florida races, according to CNN. And the Florida Secretary of State, Ken Detzner, has ordered them in tight races for Senate, Governor, Attorney General, one of the commissioners, and there's a statewide machine count. Now, there was supposed to be a deadline noon Saturday, which nobody really made. The recount is still going on here. Now, Governor Rick Scott is still out there saying that there are plenty of indications of fraud out there, and he is demanding a law enforcement investigation, which is now being ordered by Florida's Attorney General. Apparently in Broward County, where we know the police are a little bit politicized, which is like saying the Titanic hit a little ice, they're just kicking back and saying, no, we don't see anything irregular. We're not going to investigate. Well, they're now being ordered to. And frankly, given how notorious the Broward police are, I would get some outside investigators in there to take care of that. So Rick Scott's campaign announced 3 more election lawsuits. And Palm Beach says, no, they're not going to make the recount deadline. Protesters are accusing officials of incompetence. That's the cover story. You know, there's no fraud, but yeah, they're incompetent. They've made so many mistakes, and really, the equipment is getting older, and that's all it really is. There's no fraud. The corporate media is still trying to convince you that the elections are honest and transparent, and they're not here. Apparently, 2 different organizations financed by George Soros are threatening to take Florida Governor Rick Scott to court if he doesn't recuse himself from the state's recount, which includes his own senatorial election. Now, he is the governor of the state, and so apparently he was sent a letter by the League of Women Voters, who have their own dark history of election misbehaving, and Common Cause. All right, we're going to grab a phone call here. Jim in Chicago, aloha. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Hello, Michael. A couple of things where I'm criticizing Donald Trump, and you might agree. Don't you think it was very highly inappropriate for him to make nasty comments toward the state of California while people are losing their lives, running from the fire, and he's basically blaming the state for the fires? Don't you think that's kind of inappropriate?
No, I've been doing exactly the same thing here on my show. Trump is absolutely right on this one. It was chronic mismanagement. I've been talking every time there's one of these fires, I point out there's no money being spent to manage the forest areas. They're not keeping the fire breaks open. They're not clearing out the dead brush because they're spending the money making sure that illegal immigrants have got driver's licenses and voting registration cards and free school and free health care and all the rest of that. And California's official policy towards the forest lands is one of environmentalism, where they wanted to let it to go back to being more like nature, which means the buildup of dead brush, the growing over of the fire breaks, because it looks more natural and environmental that way. Well, there's the problem. Once you get nature's cigarette lighter, lightning, to touch that off, and you've got Santa Ana winds, there is nothing to stop that. And yeah, California's government mismanaged the forest lands, and all these people who are losing their homes and their lives should be looking at their own government for just how badly this was set up. And by the way, not just the government and not just lightning, but apparently there are now two different power grid companies which are thought to have sparked two of the fires. Up in Northern California, it was PG&E, and of course down in Los Angeles, Southern California, Edison. We're going to have more about these fires after we're done with the voting circus, okay?
Okay, tell me this then. Doesn't the federal government give like 60% of the money that goes toward fire protection to the state of California?
But California gets to decide where it goes. And, you know, California just decided on this thing about, we want it to look more natural. We want it to look more beautiful. And it's not like they didn't know what was going to happen because they made the same mistake with Yellowstone several years ago. Where they said we're going to let it go back more to nature, and we're going to stop clearing out the dead brush. We don't want it looking like it's a golf course. We want a more natural park. And sure enough, they got a wildfire there that almost pretty much wrecked the place. And
see, that's something I was not aware of. I'm glad you're explaining it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other question, Donald Trump is complaining of the election, and this is something that you stated last week. He had the opportunity of doing something about it with the Federal Election Commission, and he decided to disband that.
Oh, it was the Election Integrity Commission, and yeah, he disbanded it, and he turned the job over to the Department of Homeland Security. But Department of Homeland Security basically just, they said, we're going to make sure the machines cannot be hacked into remotely, and that was about it. And that leaves only about maybe 40 or 50 other ways for the election to be rigged. This election is a joke. It's an absolute disaster.
This is the worst I have ever seen it before.
I agree.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael.
All right. Thanks an awful lot. We're going to let you go. We are going to do a shout out to our on-air affiliates who are just now rejoining the network and getting on back to the debacle in our elections. Let's see. It looks like my Twitch text window has stopped. Okay, there we are. We're back. Yeah. All right. So we're talking about down in Florida. And by the way, it's not confined to Florida. Back in 2000, the focus was on Florida because that was the tipping point as to whether Gore or Bush would wind up being the president. And This, of course, being midterms, a lot more attention is being focused on other states where there have been what the media is still describing as irregularities. They're not irregularities. People are being caught cheating. So anyway, apparently down in Palm Beach County, their election supervisor is trying to ban the media from covering the ballot recount and has actually threatened to arrest reporters who attempt to do so. Now, this prompted a lawsuit from NBC Universal, Scripps Media, and Fox Television, basically saying that they have a First Amendment right to record video when this recount is going on. It's supposed to be transparent. And the judge agreed. So, got something to hide down there in Palm Beach? Over in Broward County, machine glitches delayed the start of the ballot recount. We had glitches. Now, Governor Rick Scott requested a judge to impound all voting machines not being used for the recount so that they could be inspected. And this particular judge denied the motion, but said that we'll just post more people in the recount room to make sure nothing is going on. But there is an issue because over at Real News, they're saying that, yeah, a lot of the voting machines, not just in Florida, but all across the country, they're already being swapped out because they've been pre-rigged to favor Democrats, and now they need to basically get them out of there before there is the post-election recertification of the machines. So, I mean, it's just crooked as all get out here. Governor Scott is also asking that the ballots be guarded during the recount so that nobody can get on in there and tamper with them. Yeah, good idea. But it's really out of control. Apparently over in Brenda Snipes' office, they mixed bad provisional ballots with good ones. And then they went ahead and said, well, we're going to have to count everything here in the box. Anyway, it would be unfair to throw out all those votes. I mean, they're just throwing ballots into the boxes right in front of everybody. And, oh, it was a mistake. Really, let's count them here. A few days ago, actually Friday night, GOP Representative Matt Gaetz was actually taking video of Florida election officials loading boxes onto trucks outside the Broward County Election Supervisor's office. Now, on the assumption those were ballots, that violates chain of custody. But the Broward police, remember what I said before about them being politicized, showed up and literally removed GOP Representative Matt Gaetz by force.